Hey guys, it's Cody with Taking 20 and welcome to the first video in my new Roll20 Master Series. I am so excited to finally have a chance to sit down and get this thing knocked out. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I really hope you guys will enjoy. So here's the deal. This series is designed to help you guys become masters at using Roll20. I'm going to be teaching you guys all kinds of techniques, and almost all of it is going to be system agnostic so that you can use it in whatever game you're playing. I do have one disclaimer for this video. This first video is going to be about setting up a monster manual, but more than that, it's going to be very specific for the 5e SRD sheet. So if you are playing 5e and you're using another sheet, or you are playing Pathfinder, Star Wars, 13th Age, any type of other role-playing game, what I want you to do is check out a link in the description below to a previous video I did on setting up a monster manual. Now, I know that video is for 5e kinda as far as the macros go, but the techniques in that video can easily be applied to whatever system you're running. So what I want you guys to do is check out that video if you're running another system, and then come back to the Master Series, okay? Because I promise you guys, I have a lot to teach you guys in this deal, and this is going to be the only video that is going to be system specific. Everything else is going to be system agnostic, so hopefully you guys will come back and learn a lot along with me. So now that disclaimer's out of the way, I am really excited. I hope you guys are excited, and let's get started. Okay, so first I want to start by showing you guys what the monster manual is and kind of explaining it just a little bit, and then we'll jump right into the actual sheets, because I want to show you how I have each of these individual sheets set up. Unlike my past system where I only had one template, this system is kind of totally different. I love it. So much faster. You guys, I really think you'll dig it. But I did set up 3 different templates, so I'll walk you guys through each of those templates and show you what these macros I've set up, and then I want to show you how fast it is to create a new monster in this system, because you can drag and drop the stat blocks over from the compendium. It is seriously cool. So here's the monster manual. You can see I've got this nice little folder here, and then in this folder I have all these different challenge ratings along with some templates, and just let me show you a couple here. You can see I have all these monsters set up inside the manual. So if you are running a game and you need a monster, all you have to do is come over here, click on it, drag it out onto the field, drop it down for your players, and then once you click on this, you'll actually have all of the information you could possibly need to run this monster right at your fingertips. It is seriously cool. So how I have this set up is the first few rows are going to be, and it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, are going to be your actions for your monsters. So all you have to do is one click, it'll roll with advantage, disadvantage, it'll roll the damage as well. Then in addition to that, this next section here, this is going to be static. This is going to be exactly the same for every monster. You don't even have to touch it. Once you drag a monster over from the compendium and drop it in, all of these will just work. It's really crazy. So let me show you what it does here. The first is the DR immunities, and let me go show you one that actually has some. I think the jelly does. Let me show you what the jelly one does instead, just so you can see that. So if it has any immunities or damage resistance or anything like that, that will automatically populate. If you have a turn tracker up, all you have to do is click the little initiative button, and I guess I have these dice going. Then it will make a perception check. Now this is cool because it will make both an active perception check. Also, it will give you the information for the passive. For anybody from the old character sheet video I did, you'll notice the new templates. They look great. One-click save buttons. That is way too many dice. With advantage and disadvantage all the way down. Then stats. Now this is something I did that was a little different from the last time, and I like it. So let me show you this here. Let me grab another goblin. Alright, so guys, check this out. So, the average life for the goblin, you'll see, is 7. But, you can still roll the life if you want to randomize it, and that's what I've done here with the stat block. Is it will show the armor class, it'll show the hit die, and then it will actually roll it for you right there. And again, all of this auto-populated when you drag a monster over from the compendium, and I will show that to you here in just a second. So if you have a couple of goblins here, you can just hit stats a couple of times. Wow, 555. That's probably not a great one because it's just 2d6. So one has 9 and one has 5. So maybe this one looks a little tough compared to, you know, his fellow next to him. And if that one rolls a 3, maybe he comes into combat with a limp or a gimp, and that can really have a little bit of fun to add some depth to your game so that you don't just have boring static monsters all the way across. It'll show the speed. If there's any special notes like swim or fly, those will populate there as well. And then it will show dark vision or blind sense, anything like that. Then the last section will be traits. So if you have any type of trait like the Sahagin or you know, you can pretty much see it here, it will just automatically populate the traits. So this is such a fun and cool system. As much as I love the old system I did, and it is still a great system, by adding the drag and drop over, it makes it even faster, and you're able to do some really cool things with the templates to make creating monsters and setting these up really simple and fast. Now, before I continue, guys, just like the last video, I'm going to tell you, this is not about data entry. This is not about just going in and filling out your monster manual. What I want you to do is this. If you like the system and you want to use it, don't go in and create a bunch of monsters. Instead, when you're preparing your session for the upcoming week, then create your monster. Create that monster. Now, once you've created a monster, if you're using the character vault, you have this monster forever. As long as you're playing Roll20, as long as you're playing whatever system you're in. Hopefully you're in 5e for this video. If you're using the other system for Pathfinder or 13th Age or whatever, you know, you'll have it as long as you're using Roll20 and playing that system. So, again, not about data entry. You can just create these things, save them, and have them forever. Makes your game super easy. Okay, let's get into the actual templates here. Let me show you how to do this, and we'll probably actually take a few seconds to create one. So the first template I have here is going to be my core template, my basic template. So as you can see here, I have a few different actions here at the beginning, and I've just labeled them multi, attack 1, and attack 2. Now I'm going to show you why I've created it this way. There are a lot of monsters, a lot, that have a multi-attack at the beginning. They have this little multi-attack, and then they have 1 attack or 2 attacks or 3 other attacks. And so the way I've created it is it goes ahead and pulls the first repeating section and then the second and the third, so that when you're using a monster with multi-attack, it'll actually kick out that multi-attack as well, so that you can I'm sorry, my dogs are wrestling. Hey guys, hey, come on, give it a rest, go. All right, so okay. So if you have a monster with multi-attack, you can actually see what that does there. So I've clicked on multi-attack, and you have multi-attack here, then you have tentacles, and then you have the beak. And you can see the multi-attack actually says the Grell makes 2 attacks, 1 with its tentacles and 1 with its beak. So that's how I have it set up. Now, here's something I want to tell you guys. When you are pulling up a monster, you know what, this is a bad example. Let me just click on the monster sheet. This, you'll see in all of these macros, I have this repeating action, repeating spell, repeating trait, all that jazz. Here's what that means. That's these sections here, okay? So if they had traits, it would be, you know, a couple of different listed traits. If they had spells, it would be a few different listed spells. When you are setting up these repeating sections, they always start with 0, not 1. So if you're getting errors and you're not sure what's going on, just remember that it starts with 0 and then goes up from there. So multi-attack is actually 0, then tentacles on this character sheet would be 1, and then beak would be 2, instead of 1, 2, and 3. It would be 0, 1, and 2. So, and that works the same for traits, it works the same for spells, and legendary actions. Alright, now let's get back into the sheet, now I've explained that, and we'll just kind of fly through the rest of this. So there's my multi-attack. I have a couple of attacks. Again, I'll have all these macros down below. So there's 2 attacks there. Traits, same thing. Now on the traits, you have 2 different numbers. So make sure that you're changing both of these if you're changing them. And as you can see, my trait 2, it actually has a 1 and a 1 there. Then I've created 1 reaction because some monsters, some NPCs have reactions in the template. The next 5 initiative through stats. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next 5 are all static. You don't have to touch them. So there is the basic monster sheet. Now I'm going to stop here real quick and show you guys how to create a monster. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick how to create a monster and how fast it is and how awesome this is. So I'm going to take this goblin and I'm literally just going to delete it completely. I'm going to delete that monster out. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to your template, and the first thing you want to do is hit the edit button and duplicate it. Always duplicate, guys. Otherwise, you'll have to go back in and come back to this video and recreate your template. Now that that's duplicated, you'll see the duplicate here at the bottom. Got it. So let's click on that. And the first thing you want to do is go in here and remove both of these. If you have anything, I would recommend just putting something there for visual pop-up here on the side. And then we're going to just name it whatever the monster is. You can tag it. I do like to tag them just in case. It didn't take me very long. And then what you're going to want to do is drag over a goblin picture. For me, I already have one uploaded. So I'm going to take this, drag it right there, and I'm going to hit Save Changes. Okay? So again, you'll notice this has something in it, this does not. Hit Save Changes. Now, go over here to the character sheet, hit this little cogwheel, go to your compendium, type in the monster name, and then you're going to drag it over and drop it in. If you can't drag it over, it's because you haven't hit this cogwheel first, okay? That frustrated the heck out of me when I first was trying to do this. I couldn't figure out how to get it over there. So make sure you hit the cogwheel first and then drag it. Okay, wow, it populated everything. These character sheets are fantastic. Now, let's take a look and see what we need to do to clean this thing up. First thing you're going to want to do is count how many actions they have. This goblin has 2 actions, a scimitar and a short bow. Great. Now we have 3 actions, a multi, attack 1, and attack 2. So let's just go ahead and delete the multi. Now, the first attack is scimitar. So let's go ahead and rename this scimitar. Now remember, we need to change this down to 0 because scimitar is the first one and they always start with 0. Next is short bow. No problem. Come back over here, go to this other attack. Change this to short bow. Change this back down to 1 for the appropriate one. And we're done with actions. Easy. Next we have nimble escape. Okay, so let's go here to the trait and let's rename this nimble-esque. This is a great time to abbreviate here because whatever you type here is going to be along that long bar. So if you're getting a really long bar, you may want to try to abbreviate a little bit more. It is the first one, so we don't have to change anything there. Hit OK. Come back over here. We're done with traits. We're done with reactions. All right, so let's go ahead and just delete this other trait. Let's just delete this other reaction. And we don't touch this. Cool. Now, what we need to do is close this character sheet. Actually, you know, I'm going to open it real quick. The average health point is 7 and the armor class is 15. We'll need to remember that here in just a second. Click this new goblin we've created and drag it onto the field. All right, now you notice it's all blank and hasn't set up. So the average health was 7 and the average AC, the normal AC, is 15. Now what we need to do is make sure it represents the character. It does. We're going to hit show nameplate and we're going to go over here to give it dark vision because I know it has dark vision. I can see it from the sheet. And I like to just put this at 60 and 30. There's actually better ways to set up dark vision so that it's a little bit more accurate if you're using dynamic lighting. For monsters, it doesn't matter for monsters, in my opinion. I think it's just, just do 60 and 30 so you can kind of remember that it has dark vision if you need to check it. Now, one last thing on here. Do not tie this to the health or the AC. Leave that alone. Again, there's a reason for that. If you tie this to the HP, and you have multiple goblins out here, and they all have 7 life, and one of them takes some damage and goes down to 5 life, when you change that to 5, it will drop all of the goblins forever onto to 5 life, and you'll have to go back in and change it and correct it, and it's a mess. So what I recommend is just leave it blank. For our system, that's the best way to handle it. Now, the nameplate pops up. You don't have to use it if you don't like. That looks right. That looks right. We're basically done. The last step we need to do is click on the goblin. So we've selected the token. Open up the character sheet. Hit edit. Use selected token. Save changes. And guys, we are completely done creating this goblin. How long did that take? And this goblin is ours forever. As long as I have an account on Roll20, as long as I'm playing 5e, and I have a character vault, or I'm using this game, I have this goblin forever. I never have to open it up. If 10 sessions down the road my players run into more goblins, or another game I'm running a year from now runs into some goblins, I can pull them out and go. I don't have to open a book. I don't have to do anything. I can just make the attack rolls. I can check the traits. I can make perception checks. It is just so simple and easy. So, now that you guys know how to set something up and you know how the monster manual works, let me just run through the other 2 templates I have that so you guys can check out how I have spells set up for NPCs and how legendary actions are set up, because that was kind of difficult as well. Okay, so let's take this goblin. What was he, a CR? I think he's a quarter. I'm pretty sure he's a quarter. Let's just put him back here. All right, now let's check out the how spells and legendary actions work. So here's an aboleth. Okay, and you'll notice the aboleth pulled out the right size. Now, if you want to know how to do that, what you need to do is size your token however big you want them. And then once you have them sized correctly, then go in and hit use selected token. Okay, so if he's tiny and you use selected token and you pull him out, he'll always be tiny. If you make him huge or large or gargantuan, I think it's gargantuan, then he'll always pull out that way. So legendary actions. Now this was kind of a pain, and you can look down in the comments below for how I have this set up. So you'll notice I can click on these, but I can't actually click on this. And each creature can vary, in fact, by how many legendary actions they receive. So I had some help on the Roll20 forums in getting this one set up, and you can check that macro out below. So I have this set up to legendary actions as its own button, and then the rest of that are going to be the actual, like as if you were clicking it straight off of the sheet. There's legendary actions, and then finally spells. Let me show you guys spells here real quick. Let's go over here to the NPCs. I think I've got a mage or something. I do. Wonderful. So I've got this mage set up. Evil mage. And let me show you how these spells work. Now there's 2 different types of macros below. One is for innate spell casting, because some monsters just can cast spells. And then in addition to that, you have more traditional spell casting, like a wizard that's using spell slots. So these are repeating sections as well. And the way I have them set up is I just have them multiple all set up for each level. Let me show you this mage's character sheet. Excuse me, the macro. So 0 level. Okay, you can see again, always start with 0. I have just the first 3 set up that way, and I've just stacked them because they are in a repeating section, and all the spells are down here. Now here's the cool thing about this. You're trying to create one of these, you need to add a spell. Okay, just go over here to spells. Let's see, what's a good spell here? Magic missile, burning hands. How about that one? Is that in here? Yeah, there it is. So if I wanted to add burning hands, I just slap it over. I'm done. He now knows burning hands. So I can just count down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So whatever level this is, and if I need to move it, I can just hit this unlock button and move it up to be with the first few spells or the last few spells or whatever. If I need to delete it, you can just do that. And that's it. It's that simple. So let's take a look at the templates and how I have it set up. And I think that'll wrap up this video. So here is the spell casting template. I have a multi set up. I have 2 attacks, 2 traits. I don't have a reaction for some reason. I probably should add that just in case. Here are the spells set up. I went ahead and just added 2 in there into the template. So every time I duplicate this template, it'll at least already have a couple in there. Same thing for first level. And then here is the innate casting. It's basically the exact same thing. It's just the repeating section. So there's that. And then legendary. Let me show you this one. I hope you guys are really digging the system. Like it's seriously fun. It's seriously fun. Here's the multi. Okay, I've got 3 of them in there. I have 2 attacks, 2 traits, a reaction. On the legendary actions, I actually set up the legendary action button that I showed you, and I set up 3 legendary actions just because every time I went to go do a monster, I only had 2 here, and I would have to go in and add an extra one and you know, copy paste another repeating section over. It was kind of irritating, so I went ahead and just set up 3. So it is that simple, guys, and yeah. In no time, you guys can have your very own. Let's see what we got here. We got some awesome stuff. You know, young green dragon, pull up, 1 click. There's his traits. There's his actions. Just incredibly simple, incredibly easy, super quick and fast system. Once you have it up and running, you will probably just be so upset that you've had to stop and look at books and pull up sheets, and it's not bad pulling up sheets when you've only got 1 monster on the table, but sometimes you have an orc and an orc chieftain and an orc shaman, and you're balancing 3 different sheets and you're trying to track everything, and it just becomes a total pain. And with this system, it just makes it so easy. If you have duplicates on the field, you know, if you have a couple of duplicates on the field and you given them different colors, you can even set them up differently in the turn tracker. Hello. No thanks. I don't want to turn that on. Oh, I'm in Fog of War. That's why. Okay. Then you can actually give them different initiatives for different groups. You know, and when you highlight over it, it'll show you what skeleton. You highlight over this one, it'll show you. This system is just fantastic. You can randomize their life. You know, give a couple of stats here. One has a 10 life and the other has 16, so you just type over it. No problem. It didn't change everything because we set things up correctly instead of tying the stats to the actual character sheet. And it's that simple. And if you guys have a character vault, you can absolutely share these in your group. If you've created your own monster, you can do all that stuff. So this is just a great system, and it's just one of the few things that Roll20 can do, which is it's such an awesome piece of software. Thanks Roll20 team, thanks the OR group for creating this system for us to play in. It is the things it can do are really getting out there. So that'll wrap up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If this is your first time here and you love role-playing games as much as I do, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment or hit me up on Twitter. All that information is down below. And seriously, don't be shy, guys. I love to hear from you. And, you know, if I know the answer to a question, please don't be afraid to ask. I don't know everything, but if I know it, I'd be happy to help you guys out any way that I can. I do this because it's fun for me and I like the system and I want to share it because I think it's super cool. But I've got a lot in store for you guys for the rest of the Master Series. So stay tuned here. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cody. May your games be filled with awesome memories and even better friends. I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. You gotta say it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Okay, buddy. All right, kiddo. I love you.